Good morning, afternoon, and evening, randos. GTN 2002 back with you along with
Dr. Bobtastic. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Today, we have ourselves a race. It's going to be starting in just a few seconds, and this is going to be Map, Compass, and Small Key Shuffle, otherwise known as Key Sanity minus the big ones. Today, we've got Koi and Malmo on the screen for you, and about 6 or 7, like 8 or 9 racers doing the race right now. Plenty of action on today. How's it going for you, JTN?
going fairly well. I don't think this is going to be as fast as yesterday's pedestal goal, but hopefully we'll get a quickie in here.
Yeah, so this particular seed, of course, was chosen by the Twitter poll on the Speed Gaming Twitter account. It was put out there about a week ago, and was asked, which of 3 different modes you want. And Map, Compass, Small Key Shuffle won out over 0-0 Fast Ganon and Inverted. So here we are,
0-0.
And here we go.
Divergence at the start and no progress.
Garbage all around.
Yeah, this is a rando for you.
So one of the things I like to do, Koi is doing exactly what I like to do here, which is do a Houlihan on a high key sanity seed, because the rupee count might be significantly smaller in the overworld, just because of where the other items are dropped.
People, meanwhile, 10 arrows, so if we find a bow, that'll be nice to have.
All right. Bombs located at the Uncle's Tunnel. Bombs, of course, being a very nice thing to have early on in a seed.
Mm-hmm. And the Uncle has a lamp.
That is a very nice item to have, especially when you're doing some exploration.
Goodbye, Darkers.
So where the Houlihan drop down is that he did, normally if you go in there, it's just a fairy that heals you and leaves. It's what I call the useless fairy from Entrance Shuffle. And that is a map on the island, which we won't be using.
Indeed a burrito. I believe what makes that glitch work is your Y coordinate gets a little borked. The game doesn't know where to put your throw, so it throws you in the error handling room, aka the Houlihan room.
Yeah, I believe the location of your, or like where it reads to take the entrance from, is based on your screen coordinate, not the map coordinate, and so that's why it kind of messes up.
Map of Ganon's Tower, that's useful. Ooh, that's half magic. That is actually useful.
I will definitely take a half magic.
What Malmo decided not to take is a fighter's shield over in the mushroom spot.
Not a fan of the shield, huh?
He's not. I am, in case of a undersupplied blind fight.
Yeah, I mean, I do like to have the red shield before I go to blind. That's not bad. But I don't really want to pick up the mirror shield unless, for some reason, I don't have some other reasonable way to get through Laser Bridge, and that includes the boots.
True story.
All right, so it looks like the Tier 2 tree pole is just the vanilla Tier 1 tree pole. And we found the first of 6 pod keys
and a quack
for Malmo.
Come on, Agaseed.
Ooh.
What was that?
I could not tell. I think it was a big 20, but it could have been the Canis Maria.
What kind of red? Chat? Friend tracker?
Yeah, I think maybe Koi could see it just slightly more than we can here on the restream. So he probably knows what it is.
Toot, that's a flute in the well.
Oh, boy.
Someone called Jet. We may have found the seed again.
You know, as soon as you call a jet seed, it stops being a jet seed, right?
We'll see.
Anyways, got that minor small key. Probably going to check the bottle vendor here. And then I might have something to do. When you're running around and you're looking for keys, you hope you won't have to check all the things. But that's the way it goes. When you let them shuffle, the swamp small key is basically unobtainable.
Good one.
I tripped over the words, but they were there.
Words
Anyway.
are hard.
Correct.
And with that, you may all now be seated. Let's go wood small key there, not too useful. Dark power small key, I think that's number 2.
Yep. 2 pod keys, and we move right along. Alright, we're going to check the back of the tavern.
Nice
Ice rod.
Don't have to worry about where in the world that might be.
Exactly.
So what would you do after finishing the CAC area with that early food? Would you go rescue an old man up on the mountain? Get that out of the way?
I might. I mean, with the lamp in tow, it does seem like a play. It's just there's not much else you can do up there. I'd be tempted to try something else. Although there's not much you can do at this point. I think Front of Escape is probably the best play right now, actually.
Oh, Mama goes South Shore.
I forgot. We haven't done South Shore. What am I talking about? South Shore is the best play. I'm a dumb. Though probably the best play is to flute to 7 and not walk there. Which is, I say that because I need to remind...
back the other way.
True. I say that because I need to remind myself of this when I have the flute, because I always make this mistake every single time.
Castle Tower.
Yep, the Castle Tower small keys are shuffled into the pool as well, which also means that there could be reasonable items in Castle Tower. Kind of softens the blow of actually having to go up there.
So Koi picks up his nice rod. Ooh, small key in the water.
All right, we've got 2 Skull Woods keys. I think we're not guaranteed to have the third one in the pinball room anymore. So
yeah, pinball is, I don't believe, a guarantee in.
Yeah, unless you're playing entrance mode.
That's a completely different animal, though. Full heart in the race game, both runners passed it up. Mini Mold Room was hype yesterday. Let's see if it pays 2 days in a row.
Oh, I didn't realize you got to do yesterday's. Cool.
That was a crazy bed seed. Crazy.
All right, we got a glove and
Money.
300 rupees, which is enough for Zora money. Unfortunately, we don't have the flippers or, say, the Moon Pearl, which would give us access to that waterfall fairy up there.
But that vanilla 300 on the thief, I get to finally ask the question, is this randomized?
I mean, I think it's odd randomized.
Okay.
Anyway.
With the Ice Rod Cave going over to... Well, with the Ice Rod going to Ice Rod Cave. Yeah, words are hard, apparently.
I actually did not know that the Ice Rod one-shot the mini Moldorms.
Learn something new every seed.
And speaking of Ice Rod, we're about to check the Ice Rod Cave. Just a big 20 there as well. And Malmo is going to forsake the Zora play, which seems like a reasonable idea. Don't want to orphan those two chests in the waterfall cave.
The flute to shortcut some of the walking a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's a very heads-up play.
And you were speaking about back of escape earlier.
Yeah. I said front of escape, but back of escape is much better now that you have a glove.
True story. 3 chests back here. Let's see how well it pays. Sticks, bucks,
the other glove.
Hello, Dark World Bunny access.
Yeah, we might get to see a good old-fashioned Super Bunny cave today.
Oh dear. We have a flute and mitts. We could see a moon pearl and checkerboard potentially.
Yeah.
This seed just got potentially dirty, and I love it.
I mean, I always like moon pearl on Landmo with.
We'll talk about that if we get a mirror.
You know, with no book.
That's hilarious.
I mean, same thing with checkerboard cave, though, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have that mirror.
Fair.
A Ganon's Tower small key in Nagina's cave. Yep. Now, generally, well, since this is Map Compass small key shuffle, you might want to see if you can find at least 3 of them before you head up there, because you don't know where the big key of GT is going to be.
Well, we're 2/3 of the way to Medallion Collection. Old man with an ether.
Yep, and in the words of Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Nope. Unless Buyer and T-Rock are required and both need a Bombos, in which case 2 out of 3 is pretty bad.
That is true. However, that would be a 1 out of 9 chance, which is not particularly likely. Speaking of
11%.
Not particularly likely, we found ourselves a cape.
And that is Aga Tower access.
Gross.
So is Malmo gonna make that play being out of Edna mode? No keeps.
Oh, I just remembered that her name is actually Edna Mode.
Yup.
Shoot me now. Don't actually do that.
I won't. Desert Ledge at just $1 today.
Okay. It's a reference to The Incredibles. For those of you who don't understand. Anyway,
Edna is a famous quote that is no capes. Now, well, we have a cape. Anywho, speaking of escape, we're gonna see the front here from Koi.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I imagine. Oh, we got a sword. Dear. So that's actually access to potentially Aghanim if we find the second key. And for all we know, the second key could just be up there.
Could be.
Malmo is following right behind Koi to do similar things. The only downside...
Or might swerve to Aga.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Yeah, I mean, in this case, in this scenario, you pretty much really want to go to the bottom here, just in case, Pearl is here and you can bail out.
So some people in chat are trying to jump the gun on a certain game.
Yeah, we don't even know if we can make it to AGA 1. Oh, I love this.
Ice guard strats, love it.
Chucking guards at other guards.
And there's the hundo. Only one of those in the whole seed. Yet, the hint tiles will not call the 100 rupee a unique item.
That is true. Though I haven't seen a seed played with hint tiles in a long time.
Ooh. Koi's going to finish up the castle here.
Yeah. The problem with Koi is he doesn't have the cape, so he has to go up to Death Mountain before he can scale AGA.
Malmo also throwing the guard. Love it.
I did not even remember that was a thing.
Clever moves. And the runners are thinking the exact same things. So we'll be in retrace mode for a little bit. But I'm thinking AGA 2 chests might be the play.
Yep. I would be terribly unsurprised if the AGA 1 key was just up there. But there's also the possibility that it's over in Eastern Palace, and both of these runners would be very unhappy.
Oh. That's probably where I personally would go to after the AGA checks.
So I think Koi might go to Eastern after this. Malmo is probably just going to check for AGA here.
Be our first real divergence of the seed also. And Koi's like, oh no, you didn't.
You kidding me right now?
It's like, oh yes, we did. Malmo is now off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of Ugh.
Grr. Arg.
Did get the half magic. Where did we find that?
That was in Sazral's closet. He hasn't been over there yet.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the ice rod does not work directly on these guards.
These guards are rude until you get a bacon sword. Unless you want to spin master for a while.
Yeah. The sad thing is, spinning the fire sword here doesn't do any more than slashing it.
Yep. Oh, hey.
Oh, nice. Now you give me the magic. Thanks, game.
Yep, that's Rando being Rando.
A bug net.
Oh, if that's not a play for an AGA play, I don't know what is.
It looks like Koi is also going for the AGA play.
Careful, 1 heart for Malmo.
He can definitely make it to the chest in one piece.
And
It's
there's the Pearl. So AGA Tower was the answer.
Yep, you just didn't have to finish it.
Yet.
Looks like Malmo's going for the Meyer area first, which is an interesting play. I mean, at the very least, you can look and see what Meyer requires.
We're just getting
And you can get the
shit
2
up.
items in the shed.
Hey, we can poke our head in.
Yep. Can't do much else, though. Kind of need hookshot or boots to get past the first room. I'm just waiting for him to show up right here, though, because that's just...
What are those?
Come on, game.
Doc, we're tied 1 for 1 on calls, I think, so far. That's
There
not
is that.
good.
I wonder if Koi will chance it.
Meyer, not good thing.
I mean, I'm not a
I'd be
huge fan
scared.
of Hartmeyer, but I know some people are, better at the game than I am.
This is true. Koi does have the half magic, which Quake and Ether like all day long.
All right, so Koi decided also nope.
We'll do that later. So Memo gonna put those woods small keys.
And we did find out that from the map check there that Skullwoods was in fact a red pendant. I mean, red crystal. Sorry,
Yep.
Words.
Speaking of red things, big 20 from King's Tomb. Well, that's a nice thing to get out of the way. Single arrow.
And it's done. Another pod key. That's number 3. We got a red boomerang for Koi. Elmo is going to go ahead and head to the big key chest of Skullwoods. Because there's always a chance it has the fire rod, or, like the actual big key.
Well, the big key's got to be in the dungeon somewhere. Could be in the big chest.
That is true.
Should be weird.
Just another piece of heart there, and Malmo is waiting on the clutch. I've heard those things called wall masters. I've heard them called clutches. I've heard them called.
Allow me to clarify that. Actually,
fall masters.
The naming
I'm just going to call them fall guys.
Yeah. The naming, I don't think, was strictly codified until after this game's release. So if you actually look in the player's guide, they refer to them as clutch in this version, and so that's what we needed the cape for.
Aha. Well, we also needed it for the pearl, but
I much prefer getting a mirror, but wow. Yeah, this game they refer to them as clutch. Everything else is all walnut. Most useful cape ever. It appears Malmo's going to give us a closer look at the Agatree. Get my glasses on here. Yeah, it's a 20.
Okay, that's much more reassuring. But with that mirror, we could go check Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb, that sort of thing.
Oh, it's Overworld Tour season for sure.
We could could see a kern jump.
We could see a kern jump if these runners are dirty logic breakers, which they probably are.
Now, that being said, there is another method you can use with their equipment to get across the river without using the kern jump if they're not comfortable with it, and that is you can set up a water walk over in Skull Woods and come on over.
Oh, yeah. Don't see that very often, but that is a potential.
That being said, I don't expect our runners to kern jump. I expect our runners to come over here, grab the things out of the holy. Never mind.
Never mind. We're gonna go counterclockwise through all the overworld and not need to worry about that kern jump.
I was gonna say I expected them to do that anyway, but now they're definitely doing it. Also, graveyard ledge hammer, no thanks. It is good on Koi that he decided to come over here and get this, despite having done the other bonk checks.
Cape to mirror, mirror to hammer to hello open sea.
Got what, 3 pod keys now?
1 away from a minimum for pod clear. If you can hammer a yump and avoid the front door.
Malmo is doing the kern jump. Okay.
What? Okay.
I mean, maybe he figures there's something in pod.
Koi, meanwhile, going to Dark Village.
Or he was trying to kern jump, apparently.
So with small keys shuffled, Thieves Town has one little annoyance.
That it does.
We don't have a small key. Water toes!
Okay. So Flippers found for Koi in the chest game.
Malmo's gonna go take care of Hera, looks like.
That's a fairly reasonable play, especially since, you know, the hammer's going to get you access to Paradox Cave and all that mess as well.
And with Dark World access, we can, even with the boots, get a bonk shot check. So Koi just found the last coin.
Yep, so all the medallions are in our possession. Found the big key of Hera. Malmo
Found
did.
the big key to the Thieves' Town.
Like you do. All right. 20 rupees and
4.
5. So without the Thieves Town small key, there is only one chest in the back that the game considers in logic, unless the Thieves Town small key is in the big chest of Thieves Town.
And if you don't want to orphan that, you could steal the pot key, and instead of going to the attic, you could go to the basement and use the key there. Why you do such a thing, I have no idea.
Like, you could, in theory, like, die, take a save, and then do that, and then if... Yeah.
You know, I never thought of that. That's dirty cool, and I like it.
Yeah. The only problem with that is it just takes so long to go back and do the rest of it. You just really don't want to go back to the back of Thieves Town if you can help it.
So Melmo now we're fighting the real fall guy in this game.
That is true. The mirror was on.
I did not
bumper
need to predict that. Thank you.
On bumper ledge. I didn't see the big chest of hair either. Okay, yeah, heart piece. All right, Troll Dorm dealt with, and we get a compass, pod, and a crystal.
From the hue of that crystal, that might be our number 6.
The hue has nothing to do with the crystal thing. If it turns yellow, it just means you got a text box beforehand. Master Sword in the one chest that's in Logic.
Alright. So, pun of the day incoming. I did not see what that was on the floating island.
I did see it. I immediately dismissed it.
Okay.
Like my brain just decided not to archive it.
True story. Don't worry about those digs. We have a lane. Spike Cave gives pod key number 4. If I said spike, I meant spiral. Don't remember what I said.
I believe you said spike, but you know what? We'll
that
take it.
Might be next with a cape and a half magic potentially for someone.
Could happen.
Red Pendant Thieves.
Rip.
Rip unless pet is required.
All right, Paradox Cave, piece of heart, map of Eastern. Eastern map's pretty nice.
Any information is a good idea. So I'll let you keep an eye over there, and I'll, meanwhile, count how many digs Koi takes today.
Ah, book. And a small key to pod, the 5th small key for Malmo.
19 for a small key to Swamp. Hello.
Ooh, the Swamp key.
All hail left side.
Having the flippers, the mirror, and the hammer, but no hook shot. Ugh. And also no Cane of Samaria. So you have to do the bomb diver down trick.
Or you just don't do diver down, you do it legitimate.
Why would you do that?
Because
this
you're
is a speed run.
Can't do glitches like me.
It's actually not that bad, I promise.
So double quakes today for our dungeon. Hammer pegs just $5. Keysmiths, GT.
All right. GT is, again, you want to find some number of those before you make the final trek. If the big key's in a favorable position, you might only need 1. You might only need 0, really.
Did our trackers confirm that red crystal for Hera?
Looks like it.
Bong shot gives a 300. Definitely won't refuse that in the seed.
And it does look like that Spike Cave play might be happening. Although
K45 health at last. Maybe you should go and do that race game after all.
Yeah, the health is kind of stingy right now.
seed is ripe for cape abuse. Stumpy with a 300?
A green potion in a bottle on the
Which would
pedestal.
be our
On
first,
the not pedestal. The ether tablet. Sorry.
and that would be our first bottle we've seen.
Interesting. Now, if Malmo had done Thieves Town already, he would have been able to actually acquire said bottle. Speaking of bottle, we're going to check the contents of the purple chest, which is blue mail. Yes, please.
With this kind of health, always. So effectively now doubling that health in some situations.
And Koi's going to be heading to Hype Cave, which is, the obvious play at this point. But will he turn around and check Swamp is the question.
I don't call this Hype Cave anymore. I call it the Cave of Questionable Value. I have little faith in this place.
I mean, negative hype is still hype.
I mean, never mind in this case. Red Mail, the Thieves' Small Key. Enjoy your double dip.
It's like we're a regular Baskin Robbins over here.
Nothing's ever in hype. Never mind. So Bang zooms straight to Red Mail for Koi.
Alright, Malmo is going to go into Thieves Town as well. So also going to orphan that Thieves Town big chest. Also, might I add, the presence of the Bombos Medallion also gives us access to a lovely little place I like to call Ice Palace.
Nope. That is not a lovely place. I have no idea what you're talking about. The place is full of pain and suffering. A lot more pain.
And a big 20 from Malmo. Again, he's going to get the 5 rupees here.
Koi's going to the pyramid. Hey! Bottle 2! Which is really bottle 1.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Koi. Yeah, I was going to say go to Catfish and then go to Zora.
Actually, if I were Koi, I would go to the Witch, warp to the Light World, flute to 3, turn in that bottle first with Sick Kid, and then just come right back and pick up where you left off.
I mean, I figure he's going to go back to the Dark World at some point, and he can, when he flutes to 3 that time, he can check the Sick Kid. And if he wants to go to Pod, he can just flute to 5.
Also a viable option. Catfish by the Catfish. Little surprise there. Into the well, 50 bucks. T-Rock Small, that's the first.
Yep, first Turtle Rock Small Key we found. There are 4 total. And the game definitely wants you to have all of them. You need at least 3 if you want to beat it in this rule set.
If the answer is Lava Chest, however, you want that 4th. But the answer is never Lava Chest.
Until it is.
Exactly.
And there's another small key. This time to Ice Palace.
Oof. Big oof there.
Alright, so unsurprisingly, we're going to see Koi heading for
a flute.
Yeah. Looks like he might be heading to desert.
Could
Or
be could be Meyer.
Could be Meyer, could be Checkerboard Cave, could be any of the things over here that require the mirror. So Checkerboard Cave first, it looks like.
Now I'm happy to see that Master Sword not going to help much against Blind. Because, you know, Blind is blind to the level of sword you're using.
Alright, so Koi is going to go ahead and check desert first. And that makes sense because we know that, you know, minus the right-hand side, we could full clear desert here.
Unless the big key is over there, in which case...
There is that.
We're getting trolled. Well,
that is not a vanilla small key. That is a different small key. It's the 6th pod key!
It could have been the vanilla small key.
No, it couldn't, because it was the wrong color.
Oh.
The vanilla small keys are slightly darker.
And they were clearable. So both runners now with their Thieves Town red pendants. Appears Quill will be off the land mode shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, see, what are you doing our Portal Runners this time? Trying to figure where is the next big thing gonna be? Malmo's going to do his 19 digs for the swamp small. Koi, meanwhile, about to throw down against a landmo with an ice rod.
Oh yeah, ice rod strats. Rarely seen. And, you know, equally rarely executed. Because it's not easy.
Koi made it look that way, though. Oh!
Did we just like pop off in the same pitch at the same time?
Anyway, believe we did. So a lamp required seed because yo dog, I heard you like fire sources. So we're like a fire source behind a fire source.
There is that.
Okay. You know all that stuff negative I said about ice? I take it all back now that we have a fire rod.
I mean, ice is pretty doable at this point. Especially with red mail all of a sudden, you know what I mean? I'd like to welcome everybody coming in from Speed Gaming 2. Got our daily Link to the Past randomizer race here.
And it's a doozy.
Based on the choice from the Twitter audience. Chose the Map and Compass and Small Key Shuffle seed. And it looks like Koi is going to take that fire rod and immediately go.
Just going to go
deal with Moth.
Adequately equipped for a Moth fight here, I would say. I prefer to have a bee around, but then again, I'm crazy like that.
I prefer to have more health than 5, even if I do have red mail.
I had to do a Moth like this, I'd probably use that Master Sword and just cheese the cape the whole way.
Yeah, Cape Cheese is a real actual strategy here. But also the half magic fire rod, you've got plenty of shots. Using that is pretty good too.
Spikes, however, don't care about mail.
That is true. 5 hits from the spikes. It'll take 10 from Moth or any of his projectiles to kill him. That's the deal with the mails against Moth. If you are on green mail, you'd rather get hit by the spikes.
Anything else?
If you're on red mail, you'd rather get hit by Moth. If you're on blue, it doesn't matter.
Probably putting a clinic on this Moth. Unscathed. And Malmo, meanwhile, Bombo's tablet for a piece of heart.
Koi acquires the big key.
We're not done with the dungeon yet. That's not as bad as the swamp big key being on its boss. That's just rude.
Yep. We're going to see Malmo also go for the Hype Cave, which we know contains that Thieves Town small key and the red mail.
Yep. That totally not at all useful cave.
And it's also got another 300 rupees, I believe, as well. So
That does have some cash.
some reasonable things. There's also some reasonable annoyances.
Yeah, because everybody loves a key sanity fetch quest.
Mm-hmm. All right, Malmo also heading off to Pyramid Area. Wait a minute.
Koi's going somewhere completely different.
Oh, Malmo is checking.
Exchange?
Yeah, Malmo checked the bomb shop so that he would know about the
Putting all
crystals.
Put all that cash juice, upgrading to red to a blue, because magic might be a big thing. This might be prelude to an Ice Palace guy.
Yeah, Ice Palace or maybe Mire or... Oh, yeah, this looks like ice. You hate to see it. That is, you hate to see a seed where you're forced to go into ice without the Cane of Samaria.
Especially when you're like me and can't Ice Palace bomb jump. Because then you have to do it the developer intended way, and that just doms away your time.
Wow.
Pengator Bowling. Health! Yay!
I have never seen quite that effective a bomb kill in that room. That is glorious. Personally, I probably would have just switched to Quake.
I would have bomb boast, but yeah, tomato.
Quake is way faster, man. Way faster. Bombos's animation is so long, dude.
It is, but you get that nice satisfaction.
It does in fact burninate the countryside though, so what are you gonna do?
Also, it would give me time to grab a drink in the middle of a race.
Fair enough.
You have not had a coffee break yet.
Koi did not check Paradox Cave yet.
There's the old IPBJ. Green Pendant Turtle Rock. Thanks for the information, Sassy Rassy.
I mean, we knew that when we found the ice rod, though, right?
Air quotes new, yeah.
Correct. Not actually.
Get more Pengator Bowling. Oh, of course.
This
Here
time we
you
switched to Quake. There we go. See, this is the room where I know how to blow them up with bombs. Just drop one, move down a bit, drop some more, and then bonk off the right wall.
All right, side ice. Malmo's gonna open up the Mullet Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
5 smalls, no bow, but a bottle to glitch through the right side. So I intend this to be a full clear. Minus the boss, because no bow.
The thing is, Pod, in this particular version of the seed, though, Pod basically outsourced his business.
Uh-oh. Castle Tower Key 2.
Yeah, I don't believe there's any way that Aga Tower becomes a relevant thing here anymore. We've already seen the Lumberjack. We've already got our access to East Ark World. There's no real reason for that to happen. The Desert Small. Okay.
Rude. 2-for-1 deal on a fetch quest. So
now that Desert Small is not
the orphan dungeon.
Yeah, that Desert Small was not a forced double dip, as you could have come in here earlier.
Convenient big key location, putting it right above big chest.
Oh, it's definitely green pendant because we found it out from Sahasrara.
And that was a Sankharten pod.
Oh, another heart from ice. Malmo did, in fact, use the potion for the potion glitch, and there go the mimics off screen. Because the game's like, you know what? I'm just going to make sure that these monsters are on screen. I don't really care if they died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the reason it doesn't check to see if, like, every enemy has died is because technically the enemies on the other tiles of that super tile are still loaded.
That's why, okay. Nice little big 50 sync from both runners just a moment ago also.
And Koi's going for Cold Stare. We will...
Going for worst room probably for Enemizer for a hand to show up in.
I see that and raise you a conveyor room before Aga Tower. Or before Aga 2.
I will see that raise and promptly fold.
Yeah, that's happened to me before.
Thankfully, I have not experienced that. Cold Stare with the Thieves Town burrito. And
yeah, we could have used that information a while back.
Thanks, game.
But we did find more crystals. We are... as far as crystal knowledge, we know Ice, Skullwoods, the Tower of Hera, Desert. If Koi checks the map at some point, we could probably find out about Eastern.
Yeah, just
wait, no, it's Malmo that's got the Eastern map.
Just need to know where the blue pennant is, then we can deduce the rest.
Yeah. Malmo's got the Eastern map, not Koi, because Koi has not been to Paradox Cave. Bombs in the big chest of Pod. Malmo is using that hammer jump to his advantage, so he doesn't have to use the... And the bow is in Pod!
A bow is in Pod, sir. They're progressive.
True. A bow is in Pod. Now, I'm not going to lie. I am not surprised at all by that development.
No.
Not one bit.
Nope.
Mainly because all 6 pod keys had been found. And it's just like, yeah, there's probably something behind them pod keys. Koi, meanwhile, locating the cane of Brian and the small key to Hera. Can we keep the fetch quest chain going?
This seed officially earns the JTN seal of approval. Nested fetch quests.
Yep, just waiting for the tile room shovel.
Or powder, or mushroom. Haven't seen either of those. I think everybody knows where I want to see a shovel today. So, more on that later.
Perhaps. All right. So Malmo is headed to the boss of Pod, Koi. Meanwhile, peeking into Misery Mire. Koi does not have the Cane of Samaria, so will not be able to finish this dungeon, unless, of course, like so many other things, the cane is in its own dungeon. Yeah. Koi, of course, making use of the fact.
Away from Noah.
Koi is, of course, making use of the fact that he had a small key coming in.
Doing left first thing.
That's generally the most efficient way to do things here. A lot of people will try to do the lobby chest before coming over here, but not always. Worst vanilla item, in my opinion. Probably
for those of you who haven't done anything where the compasses get shuffled in a while, you'll notice on both runners you see that little fraction there that shows you how many chests out of all those in the dungeon have been opened. You get that in a compass shuffle once you pick up compass for that dungeon.
Yeah. So one thing is, if you open the customizer to do custom seeds, you can actually decouple those things. So you could shuffle the compasses without giving that information if you really wanted to.
I actually did that in a seed once.
Let me guess, you did that in tomorrow's seed.
Yes. Not the tomorrow seed for here. I don't roll SG seeds. If I did, they'd come out all horrible. Don't want to do that to the runners.
All right, Malmo finishes pod and immediately heads to Eastern. Now you hear the pendant music in here, but that doesn't mean anything. When the maps are shuffled, you don't know where the crystals are, and the music is randomized as well.
That was like 5-6 versions ago. Game, you've got enough health now, thank you. Another burrito. This Meyer hasn't given us anything. And now with a bee in a bottle after Moth is dead, that's really nothing. Malmo, meanwhile, picking up the big key for Eastern in the map chest.
Koi is about to check the last chest that he has access to in Misery Mire.
Which is normally the chest you'd check first.
And it is literally a vanilla small key. And if you took a look at that, you could see it was slightly darker than the other keys.
Yes.
So now you know.
And with no Samaria, that boss is going to wait a while.
All right, so Malmo is in fact has found another Ice Palace small key, a different one than the one that Koi found. And Koi found a Turtle Rock key on the Sick Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And now Koi will be heading up to Death Mountain.
Ether tablet to get that bottle?
Well, he hasn't done Paradox Cave. Or anything.
Okay, so
Here.
pick the bottle up on the way.
He also
Never have
hasn't
enough
done
safety.
Hera. And he can actually do the Tau room in Hera if he wants.
True, because of that small key fetch quest chain. That might be what Koi's thinking.
Malmo finds the Cane of Samaria in the Eastern Palace big key chest. Wow.
Oh my. So as we approach the hour mark in this race, you're listening to JTN 2002 and Dr. Bob Tastic. Shout out over to Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna bringing you all the tracking in the bottom there. And thanks to those of you who voted in the Twitter poll and gave us this lovely, lovely race.
And of course, remember to show some love to our brave runners for putting on a display here for all of you today. I know it's not always the easiest thing to do this in front of everyone.
Oh no, I still remember the first time I did it. I ended up forfeiting that seat. It still haunts me to this day, even though it was 3 years ago. Oh, almost 3 years ago at this point. So the fetch quest chain comes to an end. Almo taking on the Armos. Let's see what happens.
Rip.
Burrito. Rip again! But it's a crystal, so you had to do it anyway.
Yep. So in terms of crystals, we are down to Swamp or Mire. Oh, dude. Are we going to have a hookshot and GT seed?
So
we're
you
going to have a hover seed?
so you go down the right side. This is how this ideally plays. You go full right side, you get the hook right at the very end. You still don't get the big key. So you take the hook down the left side, you go all the way to the big key in vanilla.
Well, I mean,
that's the dream.
If I went full right side on not having the hook shot, I would go full right side. Like, I would go all the way to Ice Armos.
Malmo's starting the ice dive. Koi on the fall guy. Done.
Though, Moldorm there, he's more like a ball guy. Wow. Okay, apparently that's just a strat I should know, because both of them just pulled that off. The bow that Malmo got was in fact in logic, yes.
Yep, because we have seen, even though runners have not picked up all 6, we have seen all 6 keys upon.
And if you don't have the bow, all that requires is 5.
However, with the bow being in the dark maze, that was not the case here. And Malmo breaks ice. Koi's going to get a green pendant TR.
Okay.
Potentially.
Well, no, he's just opening it up because he doesn't have the Cane of Samaria. I don't expect him to hover through Turtle Rock.
True. I've seen that first room hovered once in my life. My jaw was on the floor for like 10 minutes.
I think I saw TGH do it one time.
Yep, that was TGH. We saw the same one.
Malmo picks up the desert small key as well, so picks up that debate.
Hate when fetch questions end on focus.
Yeah. Now that particular fetch quest, at least the desert small key, logically you needed the desert small key just to beat desert.
Mm.
It's like Koi's gonna pick up that last pod key. Or some number of pod keys here.
Numbers are hard.
I didn't realize he only had 3 somehow.
There's been a bit of overall divergence between the two runners. That's probably the cause of that in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Shamat over in chat. I like your thought pattern. Because that would also be a dirty place for the hook to be.
Yeah. I love seeing a seed that's not like entrance or key sanity or not like entrance, I mean, where the GT big chest is required. It's just so strange.
The main time I usually see it is in all dungeons to block pendant progression.
Mm-hmm. You know what I want to see one day?
Oh?
I want to see just a normal open seed where the lamp is there.
Oh, that'll mess with runners.
Because there's exactly enough dungeons to pull that off with the Eastern...
Because of Fire Rod.
Yeah, because the Fire Rod Eastern logic.
Yeah. Malmo tries to put Baby in a corner. Baby escapes.
He doesn't have the Fire Rod yet because he hasn't fought Landmo. So that is unfortunate. But gonna abuse the cape here, which is very good strat. I love me some cape strats.
Yep. And Koi's gonna fall for the debate of bonk shot. And Malmo's got something you don't see every seed, over 2,000 rupees.
That's a lot of cash, folks. Probably just because Zora hasn't been checked yet.
Mm-hmm.
At least not on his side.
Koi's gonna get that bottle free now. And because it's a green, who can take that into Spike Cave and not burn the blue.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Koi has half magic and Kane O'Brien and Cape, so Spike Cave's not going to be a problem. Yeah, 2008 was a good year, especially in comparison to 2020.
Yeah, I didn't think it's a good year compared to 2020. Ooh, Malmo with the bottle fill. And he's not spending any money. Free blues? I'll take that any day of the week. Especially
I'm on board with that. And Koi will be activating the Kane O'Brien. It's Kane of Berna, for those of you who don't know, but, you know, it's an anagram of Brian. And we've got the third Meyer key.
Completely useless.
Yep.
Meyer doesn't need any small keys.
Yeah.
Needs the Samaria, though. Haven't seen it yet.
Now, technically, to beat Meyer,
yeah,
it would have required those 3 keys because the big key was on the left side, at least by logic. But he's not going to care about that.
Logic.
I'm, of course, picking up the Ice Palace smoke key from Zora, having beaten Ice Palace.
Speaking of useless things. So where's the hook? Question time. Could the hook be on pedestal?
I
Pretty much the last hope for Ted.
mean, in theory, it would require Swamp to be the remaining crystal.
Koi, are you gonna start the swamp dip? No.
I think Koi's probably going to pod.
Nope. Koi is going to a big bomb. I like the play.
He's probably going to pod after the big bomb, is what I'm... Anyway.
Okay. It's going to pod, just taking a detour on the way. Chat's right there with us, spading out. Where's this hook going to be? Some say left side swamp. Some say the answer's on Laser Bridge.
I mean, isn't that always what it is?
It tends to be when I'm around for some reason. Malmo sees chained fetch quest. Probably not too pleased about that. We know it's a bust.
All right, Pyramid Fairy has a shovel and 10 bombs.
Well, slightly less approval in my book of this seed. There's our first of the 3 non-key fetch quests. You were right. Pod being the play.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be pretty happy about the bow, I think. Oh, he might be changing his mind. Oh, no. Is he
he's getting that shovel out of the way.
Oh, he's doing the dig.
Fetch quest. Somebody get this out of the way. Maybe he knows who's in the booth. I appreciate chat not being left in suspense. A little shovel dash there. Dig 20.
Rip.
Meanwhile, back to our previously discussed dungeon dips.
Yep, just heading right back to that portal.
Right where he was so rudely interrupted by a shovel. Malmo with a little hybrid strat with the ice rod. Nicely done.
And acquiring the fire rod as well.
Surprised no rage slash at that.
Alright, so Koi reads the message about Turtle Rock. So if Koi goes into Pod and Eastern, he's going to be rewarded with a crystal, with 2 crystals and a bow and a cane. So
And then it'll
it's going to work out well.
Probably then off to finish Myers, my guess. Oh, speaking of Meyer, hi Malmo.
And because Malmo has access to the Cane of Samaria, we will be able to find out what this dungeon is. Is it the red pendant, or is it the final crystal?
I'll tell you one thing I know, it's Viddy. Because there's no Randomizer today.
That it is.
There's something you don't see every day. Koi making the first real big play into Pod, coming in with all 6 small keys in inventory.
Koi picking up the same cart.
Still looking for the hook. It'll be a little bit till we find out any new information. Malmo has already come through all of Pod.
But when you look for the hook, it's a freaking pain, though.
Did you just get inspired for a new song?
I'm probably not doing that song. That's all you needed of that one.
That is all you needed. That is true. So, while we're waiting for some new information here, how do you like to take down the two bosses these runners are about to face? When it comes to Helma, I'm probably one of a very rare breed that likes to use bombs on the mask.
If I have the hammer, I'm always using the hammer because it's going to be faster pretty much every time.
And you would, unless it's like a boss shuff or something of that nature.
Yeah. Now, that being said, for Vitreous, given the current loadout, my strats would 100% be cape strats.
Yeah.
Specifically, put on the cape, get in the middle of the eyeballs, and just spam slashes.
I might chuck some bombs first just to get some AoE damage on the little eyes. But I'd probably make that cape switch if I'm starting to feel the pain a little bit.
I mean, the cape strats, you will, if you just get in there and spam slashes, you will never run out of magic. And so there's really no point in delaying. You just get in there and beat face.
Yeah, half magic, that is true.
I mean, even with normal magic, if you're spamming the slashes, the magic does not go down very fast at all. Because spamming sword delays, hitting the sword button delays the magic tick. Kid you not.
Okay. So, I don't know if you have the answer to this right now. Maybe chat does. Is the poll up for next week's Twitter poll race? Do we know what our options are for the next one? Or do we have yet to see that?
Wow, it's been a while since I've thought about Twitch Plays Pokemon. There you go.
So both runners entering the pre-boss gauntlets. Koi stuck waiting for an annoying cutscene.
Yeah, that's the hardest boss in this dungeon.
Cutscene? Yeah.
Yep. I am the Vitty.
Ooh, some nice little spookiness, I believe, from Malmo there.
Interesting doing the lower spooky there. It's not using the traditional setup I'm used to. Might have done the...
And if you like simultaneous boss fights, check out this sync.
Using Brian strats here for Vitreous. That's also a reasonable play. Nobody has been into Swamp Palace yet, no.
Nope, nobody's touched that with a 10-foot pole.
Nobody goes to Swamp? Not nobody, not know how.
Though if these runners are going to T-Rock eventually without a hook, we actually get to see the Ford Torch Room done.
Never mind.
So Malmo will go up there and use the hook to cheat his way through that Ford Torch Room, as I was about to say.
I disagree.
You're entitled to that opinion.
I don't think he's going into Turtle Rock at all. I think he's going to go mode Swamp and then go beat the game.
Problem with that. Potential problem with that, I should say. GT small keys.
Yeah, I think he's got 2, and 2 is usually going to be enough. If nothing else, you can, like, maybe save scum it.
Ooh, scum and GT. Ooh.
I mean, you might check a chest or 2 along the way in case you find another GT big key, but with 2 small keys, you should be good most of the time.
That GT big key, though, it has potential to be a trolley. So let's call it Schrodinger's go mode at this point. Might be, might not be.
Koi is not going to be happy about that hook on Vitreous, because I don't expect him to go back there until much later. He probably will dip Swamp before going back there.
Swamp starting off with blueberries.
Well, maybe not. Maybe he'll go there because he won't know if Swamp is a crystal pendant.
Well,
and he
is a pendant, but it's a required pendant because of the boss item.
Yeah.
And with that, we have full dungeon knowledge.
So as long as he doesn't pick up the map of Swamp or Mire, we might see Koi go back there before heading into Swamp.
Also, potentially, Rift Pedestal. Actually, no, definitely, because even if it's a GT small key, nobody opens that door in the center of the basement.
Wait, I think the Misery Mire map was like one of the first items we found. No, it was the compass. Never mind.
And by God, Koi has got his cane.
That man had a family. Just thought I'd let you know.
You did?
Yep.
And to be fair, everybody has a family. Some have bigger families than others. Yeah, I might be a little sleep deprived here.
Fair enough.
So Malmo on the swamp and go mode. Believing to be in go mode. Quite about to face down some Armos shortly. This red eye going out of the way.
Malmo did go ahead and open some chests on the way back. I imagine at this point, these checks are less for those Ganon's Tower small keys that you might be thinking of, and more for, like, I don't know, Tempered Sword or Silvers, please.
Or maybe one of your favorites, the powder.
I would take some powder, absolutely.
Or maybe even, yeah, definitely a better sword for an Argus would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, will Malmo Master Sword? Or will we see a menu boss? Yeah, there's your answer.
So I feel like the ideal Master Sword fight here is going to have double puff pulls with spins.
Uh-oh. Koi did look at the map and saw that blue pendant.
And he's piecing out. Oh no!
Oh no! Rip. Well, we shall see soon, probably, what is down in Turtle Rock.
Haha.
All Malmo's got left is a Moth, and then it's off to GT.
Yep. Koi heading into Turtle Rock. This is going to be quite disappointing, but who knows? He might pick up some swords or something.
Or two GT small keys would be real nice.
True. We might get to see Koi do the actual hardest trick in the game.
Oh.
Which is remembering to go down when you don't have the hook shot.
Developer intended strats. So overrated. Compass to desert, that's Garbo. Yep, there's some rage slashes. Knows what's coming.
And he pulls it off with style.
Now he's going to take the loop, or is he going to shortcut the loop?
Oh, we definitely shortcut the loop here.
Double dips. Gotta love him.
Map a pod and a big 20. Meanwhile, Malmo is busting up a moth.
A couple hits, but that's okay. Koi came in here on 5 hearts. Malmo came in on 14. A little bit safer. So not quite an oops all dungeons, but an 8 dungeon seed. With a dip into one required, that being Aga Tower. Our lovely, lovely Moon Pearl.
All right. I think
it's Schrodinger time.
Do we do the thing? Is there a thing to do?
I like the 13. 13 is a very nice number. We are doing a thing.
Yeah, I was like, does the bot still work? It does. So
I'll officially plug my number in.
GT Big Key guesses. Get him going.
Get him in hot and fast.
Yeah. 22 different locations to check for, and we'll cut it off as soon as Malmo enters the Ganon's Tower on our commentary stream.
Now, as we approach the hour and a half...
I didn't know we don't use it during dailies.
Oh. There's a lot of people that have stolen that number. But I will say at this point also, hour and a half roughly, we have not had a finisher yet in this race. Oh, Mimic with the bacon.
All right, well, that's at least something worth picking up there. 10 arrows on the torch for Malmo as we come in with 2 keys.
Hyrule Castle key in the big chest of TR. So, this TR is turning out to be a logical bust.
So, I would be tempted to go right side first here. Because
I am always the left sider. Hey, silvers, that's nice.
The reason I would be tempted to go right side first is because the right side, if you go all the way through it, is key neutral. Never mind.
And that's key number 3. That is sufficient to clear GT. So, Schrodinger was even
don't open that chest, that door.
Don't
right
open
there.
that door. Okay, right there. Worst door in the game. So now we're just hunting down that big key.
And as I predicted earlier, Koi is in fact heading into swamp without the hook shot. Ugh.
Womp.
Yeah, hate to see it.
I might see another sword on the left side.
Malmo, however, picked up the silver arrows, so I mean that's basically enough.
And we now know where all the bottles were. There's a big key.
11, I believe.
11. Torch plus 4 is 5. Hope is 7. 8, 9, 10, 11 being the last that room. Yep, there it is. And we have a winner. Congrats, you're a partial psychic. You win a lifetime supply of randomizer seeds. Go roll them.
You win a lifetime supply of randomizer seeds rolled by JTN. No, I'm kidding.
No. You don't want that. Trust me when I say you don't want that.
Oof. The beats are real. But Malmo has made it into the Ganon's Tower climb.
Very nice. Red skeleton room. Full magic. Man, enemy drops very nice in the seat overall, I would say.
I mean,
Aid bomb.
anytime you get the good drop pool on the guards, Stalfos, Zazax, that sort of thing, it's always a really nice seed.
Koi, meanwhile, off to the left side. Swamp Palace.
The Landmo's not cooperating with Malmo's silver arrows today, but
Those
Pulls it off.
Dynamos are better cooperating with the ice rod than with the silver arrows.
Malmo coming up on the best rooms in the game.
You would just like the efficiency of Arcana Samari, don't you? I'm personally more of a fan of the rooms up on the next floor. Because that is typically the last knowledge you will get in a scene.
True.
And you actually get prizes on that level. We'll see if Malmo picks up any of them.
I mean, if I were Malmo, I would. But I'm not Malmo. He's picking up one, it looks like.
Bypass the mini helmets, don't need the key that they're holding. And there's the butter!
Well then. Yeah, Koi definitely did find the Misery Mire map, unfortunately. Having
The
defeated...
last key to TR. Oof. Don't you against the fall guy. So Malmo's definitely going to be going into the big pig fight with Silvers and Master Sword. Quail get there fully equipped.
Yeah.
After
He'd actually already
Yeah,
fully
with the
cleared
pig.
all of Misery Mire except for Vidi.
And Vidi being the key part of that.
Oh no, he's going for the Thieves Town big chest.
Oh, poor
Gross.
Jeez. Ooh, Malmo's showing this topology exam who's boss.
Oh, we're going into like advanced mathematics today, apparently. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when you open with a triple,
The question is Aghanim an open or a closed set? Or is he
he's a
both?
clopen set.
Okay.
And a cycle at that. 3102. So what's the favorite quote you like to see from the Big Pig? I like the chief.
Man, I don't even know.
Kefka's quote is nice. Don't see that.
Oh, that is
What does
good.
say? Ah, thanks for dropping in. Duck, sheep, rooster. Here we go. Thieves debate 10 narrow.
Alright, so Malmo will be doing Master Sword Silver's Ganon. When Koi eventually gets to GT, oh, he's going back to Mire. Thank goodness.
I think this might be a last location outside of... no, this might be a last location. Never mind. Ironically enough, nobody checked pedestal.
Yeah, the book was late enough. It wasn't really going to happen. All right, Malmo chugging that blue potion, like you do. Unfortunately,
It's
unable to get up in that green, in that fireball circle. That's a pattern where you can do it pretty well. But it looked like he was one spin away, so never mind.
So everybody's rudest upstairs neighbor stomping around all over the place. Literally trying to bring the house down.
And then suddenly, physics.
Yes.
If you look down below when you fall, there is nothing holding up this platform.
Ganon rejects your reality and substitutes his own.
Oof.
Careful. I do not know what is in Malmo's second bottle. The red goo from the pyramid?
Perhaps? I'm not.
But it's irrelevant.
I think it's a B.
And down goes the pig.
And Koi is going to run into Vitreous with a butter sword and completely destroy it.
And Malmo with a second place overall finish. Official time, 1 hour, 40 minutes, and a second.
And Koi with a basically immediate forfeit. Because he's like, no! I'm done here.
It's like, no, I reject this seed. So we'll have a little conversation here with the runners, I'm sure. If you're curious, the winner of the race was Orange at 1:31.42.
We did see Orange come into chat a minute ago here.
So overall, I believe we have seen everything except for 2 shields, GT key number 4, little small keys in general, and the mushroom and powder and blue boomerang. Everything else we have seen somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the places we hadn't seen checked included things like Swamp Pile's big chest pedestal. Yeah.
Well, we'll see that in credit roll.
Anyways, it does seem like we are joined by the winner of today's on-stream race and second place overall, Malmo. Congratulations.
GG's. Man, I got to go toe-to-toe with Koi on Restream. That was cool. I've never been on Restream before.
Oh, wow. So nicely done.
Yeah, so Koi does this like race on Saturdays, so I race him all the time, but like this is the first time doing speed gaming, and it was really fun.
So, yeah, the big difference between the two of you, yeah, that hook.
Yeah, I didn't know what the prize was, so I just went for it.
And Koi decided to last location it.
I wanted to show off the All Dungeons backup spooky.
So
yeah, I saw a backup spooky there. I was like, interesting. Did you do the thing where you drop the cane block in the hole? Is that what you did?
Yeah, so you do that when you don't have Fire Rod going in, or if you get in some other way, which you do a lot in overworld glitches and trends and so on.
Now we are joined by Koi, and I'm sorry. Show me on the doll where the seed hurt you.
I think in the eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, the seed did that.
You there, Koi?
Yeah, I'm here. There's not really anything to say about this scene. Like, I just last locationed it. Like, I don't think that going into Mire earlier, then I found that Kane was a bad play. Like, that was still...
It was a plenty good play. You had 7 items in there you could get. It was...
Well, your official go mode, by the way, you would have gotten the 3rd GT small from DM's room, along with Silver's. So you would have been perfectly armed to the teeth for the pig. And if you full dove the right side, you'd find a GT big key right at the end of Compass Room. So there's the rest of your knowledge.
Oh, okay. I wasn't really worried about that.
Oh, and Bottle 4 was on the way too. So you had been fully armed.
So, so this particular seed, there were a lot of just random, like, fetch questy keys. I remember, the desert key in
Desert Hera, yeah.
ice leading to the Hera key in desert. I think only Koi ended up checking that.
Yeah, the Thieves Town key made me sweat because I went to Thieves Town, I full cleared it, got a pendant, and then did Hype Cave and got the Thieves Town key.
Yeah, you're not the only one. But Koi did eventually go back for it.
Oof.
Just before going back to Meyer, I believe.
When I saw Orange finish at like 130, I knew it was going to be something that he just grabbed on the way. Like, Hookshot wasn't in an out-of-the-way location. He just had a different route that made a different location on the way. And I thought Thieves Town Big Chest seemed likely because, you could have very easily just not do 4-heart blind, and then suddenly it's really easy to go back there with a small key.
Yeah, that's a very, very reasonable way of looking at it.
I almost did that.
I just noticed that your Discord avatar is a koi fish, which is hilarious. Anyway.
Yeah, there's the secret to the seed is just go to pod earlier. You go to pod earlier, you get your bow earlier. Then you go to Eastern earlier, you get your cane earlier. And then when you're looking for crystals, suddenly, oh, look, there's Hookshot and Meyer.
So, yeah, 8 dungeons required, apparently today, with a dip into Agate Tower. So how about that Moon Pearl early on? Just chilling there in Agate Tower.
I felt real good about the Moon Pearl because, like in Map Compass Shuffle, like you typically value going into dungeons a lot more, and I really didn't want to make the dive on Eastern. Although, maybe it would have ended up saving time today.
I was just happy.
No.
I was just happy I got to single dip the castle because I was afraid that I was going to go to Eastern after getting that Moon Pearl and find another key, or not finding the Moon Pearl. Like, let's say I find nothing in Agate Tower and then find another key to Agate Tower and have to go back.
Yeah, I did the castle, got the lamp, and then went and got the cape, and then went back for Moon Pearl.
Yeah, the mountain play was very questionable, and I forgot why I did that, but when I saw that cape, I was like, okay, I kind of have to follow this.
That cape was probably the most useful I've ever seen in a seed. Got you in Agate's Tower for the Moon Pearl. And gets you up onto where the mirror was just chilling behind a bumper.
But yeah, we were sitting there watching when you went, when you finally were headed back to the Meyer area. And then we saw you check the map, and we were like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, it's because it's just one item in Meyer, and it's all the way at the back on the boss. And then I saw that it was a pendant and not required, so I decided to go TR. It was really unfortunate the location of the big key in TR too, because if the big key was in any other location, then I could have gone to Laser Bridge too.
Yeah, but for once, the answer was not Laser Bridge.
Yeah,
that wasn't TR at all.
That's unfortunate. I'm curious if Orange dipped Eastern early, because I feel like you double dip Eastern, right? If you do that, but when you get to do Icebreaker, you get to single dip Meyer, everything just kind of works out. But you also get that if you just go to pod with 3 keys instead of 6.
I went with 5. I went kind of late.
I had 6.
Okay.
Yeah, that I think was the first time in many months I've seen somebody go in having completed the 6-pack challenge like that.
It's a really awkward situation in small key shuffle like this, because the big key could be in one of the unfortunate spots, right? It could be Harmless Hellway, it could be in the vanilla big key chest, and if you go there too early and you don't have enough keys to gamble on that, or then you end up like save scumming and it costs so much time. So I wasn't as comfortable dipping pod with fewer than 5 keys as I would be in like a regular key sanity seed.
So speaking of pod, how about that bow?
Yeah. So I want to tell you a story about that because I was a fish into Zora. And then there was a bottle in the pyramid. This seed would have been a very different seed for me if there wasn't a bottle in the pyramid.
That was your first bottles, that red goo
I don't know if you saw the double take I did when I found that bottle, but
Yeah, going for that bottle glitch in
see,
pod.
I forget which of you did it, but one of you gave a quick read of the ether tablet before having Master Sword.
I believe it was
I
Combo.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a green goo. I wasn't coming back for that, even if it was my only bottle. That's really out of the way. Like the only way I go back to that is if I also have the hair small key.
Or if you're heading up to check Spike Cave and it's like, hey, that's a free magic fill, and I've got
Spike Cave.
Yeah, it was that was a fig too.
What was it?
Oh,
I believe it was the third Meyer key.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was a complete debate.
So where were the swords?
One was in
Oh, yeah.
Where
Swamp.
were the swords since you found them?
Left side swamp. There was one in
the
Mimic
sword.
Cave. Then the other two you got the
Yeah.
Thieves Town one and the first one.
I actually opened all the chests in Swamp except for left side because I was afraid of small keys in Ganon's Tower. I had 2, and
Yep.
I've played enough cross keys to know that if you don't have enough keys for GT, you can actually key lock yourself out of potential big key locations.
You only
So-
need 2, but you
I
just
only
have to go
You
right
have to
side
go
first.
right side first, yeah.
Okay.
Grab the key
I
and
was
then
actually
wait.
going to Dark Magician, but that's the same thing.
Yeah, basically. You don't spend a key going that way.
Yeah, you just need to make sure you mirror after Compass Room.
Oh, so I can't Dark Magician.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't go the full
Noted.
Dark Magician, but you can do
Don't
the
Dark
Pink Magician.
Pink Magician.
With 3 keys, you can do whatever you want.
Learn something new every day.
And thankfully, speaking of Dark Magician, key number 3 being there, unless
Yeah.
somebody is a fool and opens the center door in the basement, you're good. Because why would anybody open that door?
Never seen anybody do that. Don't know what you're talking about.
No logic. That door
door
has
right there?
Yeah, no logic. There's some glitches you can do with that door.
I'll have to
Yeah.
learn some of these glitches someday.
No, you don't.
Okay, I'll just sit here at the COD booth. I won't ever race again.
It'll ruin no glitches for you. Don't do it.
Yeah, doing like the Samaria stuff to like move between tiles without actually transitioning, doing some dumb stuff. It's weird. I'm assuming Samaria is involved because it's always Samaria.
In that door, yeah, I think so. I haven't learned that one. I think I did it once with Espeon and never did it again.
So, believe it or not, we still have 5 runners racing this thing.
Yeah, it's kind of telling how terrible this seat is.
Nobody else has finished yet in the
Oh, no finish.
10 or so minutes we've been rambling here.
I wouldn't be surprised if Koi would have been able to finish before somebody else did at this rate.
Yeah, I think I'd finished by now. I think
Yeah.
if I had kept going.
You just go to the swamp, get the...
I was done.
crystal.
I didn't care. It was fine.
I believe it.
Yeah, I think enough has been said about this seeds for tonight. Agreed?
Yeah, thanks for the race stream, everybody. GG Malmo. Enjoy my my race time points. You earned them.
Race time points. So,
Bye, everybody.
alright, see you next time. And Dr. Bob, I'll let you take us out here because I'm rendered speechless by this seed, and that doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, once again, thanks everybody for watching this production of Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Races here on the Speed Gaming 3. Our tracker, again, was Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, who has one of the best names I've ever heard, and also one of the best fingers for the tracker. My co-commentator, JTN2002, thank you so much for joining me. And of course, the 2 runners, Koi and Malmo, give them a follow here.
Oh, don't follow me. I don't actually stream for an audience.
Well, that's okay.
Follow Koi. I'm there. I'll talk to you in Koi stream.
Okay.
Also, follow the Twitter for the next poll.
Absolutely. So the next, if you want to see a particular mode run here on the Rando Thursday night races, make sure to get there following on the Twitter, on the Speed Gaming Twitter, and we will see you all at a later occasion. I have been Dr. Bobtastic, and I will see you all